You want me to ask a question? I'm not going to ask you. You really want me to? Okay, I'll ask the question. Now, why would somebody go ahead and name their video the best Greetings! Welcome to ABS Project again. Today we have a fantastic exercise called the squat. Why squat? Why do we squat? Well, squat is one of the staple exercises for building strength, endurance, mass, and overall general sense of well-being. Why the squat? Because when you squat, when you have a weight in your hands, above your head, or in the back of your neck, actually on these muscles in the back, and you are squatting, you are exerting a great amount of strength using multiple muscles to achieve this beautiful exercise. That's why, because of the inclusion of all of these muscles and all of these organs in performing this heavy exercise, you reap the greatest benefits. It is somewhat similar to a deadlift, but with a squat, we have two distinct different ways of squatting. Squatting with the weight on your back, which is called the back squat, and squatting with the weight on your front, which is called the front squat. For the front squat, your bar is going to be resting on your shoulders and you're going to be holding it with your fingers. So lounging forward is not an option. It's actually keeping the weight, keeping your back from arching. That is the harder part, so you will not go as high in weight as you can. The chances of injury is a lot less. The inclusion of stabilizer muscles, which are not visible anywhere on the body and are also inside your core, in front and the back, there's more inclusion of those as well. That is why they are safer, they are harder to perform, and they are performed with lower weight than the back squat. And I just enjoy them more personally. Now, some people tend to differ, and they're more likely to love the back squat. But without further ado, if this is your first time on the channel, please subscribe. And if it's not your first time on the channel and you're not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? These are just the best tutorials you've ever seen. Now, with that thing out of the way, let us go outside into the field from the lab, where we will go back later, and let's perform some squatting with warm-up, of course. Hello everyone, and here we are from the lab into the field, where it makes the great difference, right? So today's subject is squats, and we already did explain that squats are one of the staple exercises for strength and mass, also explosiveness and endurance, because everything you do after squatting is going to be that much more easier. Now, I recommend that for warm-up, before a squat, you do a walk followed by a light run or jog. That's for general warm-up, just to get the blood pumping through your veins. Now, as for the warm-up for the squats, you should do some lunges. Lunges are a great way to warm up your quads, to warm up your hamstrings, to warm up your glutes, to warm up your hips, and to put those ankles into motion without putting any unnecessary weight that's going to devaluate your energy from the real squat. And they are performed in this manner. Position your arms the way you feel most comfortable. You can hold them in the front, you can hold them in the back. I like to hold them in the back. And then just step forward with one foot, almost to a kneeling position with another one. Pick yourself up. There we go. And the motion is repeated until you are warmed up. From the side, the second probable, valuable, and most likely warm-up is the squat itself, but with no weights or with a light weight. So you can choose a bar, or you can choose 2 kettlebells, or you can choose 2 dumbbells that are light for your warm-up. And the squat, for the squat itself, if I do an unweighted squat, I like to position my hands in the front as though I want to hug my neck, intertwining my arms. So they're going to go in the X over here, and I like to pick the arms up because it forces me to remain with a straight back. When you are in this arm position, like this, and put it a little bit up, and you go down into a squat, you will notice that your back wants to remain straight on its own. You don't have to concentrate on it so much. It is extremely difficult to sag or arch your back forward while in this position. It feels very unnatural. That's why it will help you to keep your arms in that way. I also love to go with a squat, what we call ass to the grass, which means I'm going to go full range of motion in the squat and then pick myself up again. Also, it is a good idea to train your squat with no weights or extremely light weights until you get the perfection of repetition, which means that you want to have your last rep be as perfect as the first one. This is what the squat looks from the side. You're in the position, hands are up here, or whatever makes it easier for you to not arch your back. I go down all the way and I explode up. That's one, that's two. Here we go. And your warm-up is done. We finally have arrived to the squat itself that is going to be weighted. Now, as you all know, as I've showed you before, I use kettlebells simply because I love their range of motion and the sheer amount of exercises that you can do with them. Plus, they're easy to carry outside. But for this particular video, I've carried 3 of them outside just to balance the weight. One of them is 6 kilograms. The other one's 2 as 6 as well. One is 4 and one is 2, making it a 6. So I can hold 12 kilograms in my hands and do the squat. If for some reason you cannot achieve the full range of ass to the grass squat, you should do lunges, weighted lunges. Just pick up the weight, hold the kettlebells both sides equally, and keep lounging the way I showed you for the warm-up. There you go. You can also do lunges. They do not have to be for distance. Lunges can be performed without making distance, just on the same spot. Come here, push back, extend the other foot, kneel with the second one, push back, and repeat the process. That's for the lunges. If, however, you can achieve the full range of motion, then the hand positioning is going to be next. Now, this is the portion where I will show you how to grab the kettlebells and hold them in front of you for the front squat with the kettlebells that I like to perform. Bring them up here front, rest them on your shoulders, and go as high as you can. This is the proper hand position for them. You can also hold them differently if you have 2 same weights. If you have the same weights, or if you've ever done clean and jerk, you can hold them like this, just as long as your elbows are up here and you make it comfortable for yourself. This is what it looks like from the side. So from the side, it is going to go up here, on the shoulders, and up here. And the clean and jerk one will look like this. And then you can begin your squatting. Now that we've seen the hand positioning and how to grab the weights, let's perform a couple of squats. From the side. Notice that I keep my hands also positioned up, elbows as far up as I can go without interfering with my face, right? Because I do want to keep that posture straight and the back straight. And the height of the arms helps with that immensely. Thank you for joining me outside for the beautiful squat in this beautiful weather with the ponds filled with ducks. And let's go back to the lab to see what we have learned. Welcome back to my laboratory, and I hope we have learned today how to squat properly, how to warm up properly for the squat itself, and why squat is so interesting. Also, I encourage you to do your squatting outside because it is far more fun and engaging to do squats outside in nature and any kind of exercise for that matter, unless you cannot, or unless it's winter or something. Well, to be honest, I like to train in the winter too. So, unless you have to train in the gym because you need a lot more weights and you can't carry them with you, I encourage you to train in nature. With that being said, stick to the squat, keep squatting if you want this awesome physique and if you want health benefits overall, and to make ease of life for any work that you do, keep squatting, and I'll see you soon.